Hey, listen, many people are living in this like state of exhaustion. They don't recognize it as exhaustion. It may not feel like exhaustion as it relates to being exhausted after a sporting event or after even an event that doesn't have to do with sports, but where you've given out, but just a constant state of exhaustion. And people have learned how to cope and how to exist in that space. There's a lack of zeal, there's a lack of focus, slowed responses. Action only occurs in the procrastination phase, which means it's not intentional, it's a have to do, not necessarily need to do or want to do. There's uncertain decision making, moodiness. And so I understand that. I understand. I know what it's like to be in that state, even though, excuse me, it may not look like that from the outside in. I remember a time in my life where I was like, I'm dying on the vine, and people were like calling me, like, oh my God, you have it going on. You went from this to this, and I'm so excited for you. And your revenue has changed, and your living where you live has changed, and things like that. And I was just like, I'm exhausted. I'm dying on the vine. And it's like people couldn't see it because they could only see the things that were happening in my life. They couldn't truly see me. Side note, let me unpack this. This is why you truly need a tribe, and you truly need people that can see you. They've seen you before, they see you now, they see what's possible for you in the future. You definitely want to have that in your life. And if you don't, I encourage you to pray about it and be intentional about finding someone who can speak to you and not agree with you, yet still want the best for you in certain situations. I call it somebody in your life who can tell you no. And so, anyway, so I'm back to this. And so I was in that place, like, of just, it was almost like limbo living. And I remember thinking so clearly, Lord, just praying, like, I feel like I'm dying on the vine. And that's an oxymoron, because the vine is where the life comes from. You're the vine, we're the branches. Then why am I dying on the vine? And I was just exhausted. I was exhausted. I was so busy being and doing and keeping up with this and following life and going to work and going to school. You get the kids ready, you have a meeting, you have a deadline, you have homework, you have all these things that you have, and there's really no rest. Even though you may go to bed at night, there's really no rest. And so you want to have rest. You want to move from being exhausted to actually having excitement. And then there are exploits that you can do that you're designed to do. And so when you are in that space of just complete exhaustion, like you're always tired, and I don't care what anyone else says, listen, in this instance, when you're always tired. I don't care how you show up. If you are living in a state of exhaustion and you're coping in that space, it's almost, it doesn't appear to be the hamster on the wheel, but differently. So let's not go with what other people think they see. I'm just talking to you. I'm talking to you. If you're living in this state of exhaustion and you learn how to cope with that, then I want to let you know there's a way that you can still do all these things, but also come from a place of rest. If you're like, I'm grinding, I got to get it, I got to get it. If I don't get it, nobody else will get it for me. I got to get it, I got to get it. I understand that. I understand that mentality. But for those of us who are of the faith based community, I'm not trying to say your denomination versus another. Do not get distracted, but faith based, where there is a rest for you, like you are designed to do these good works that were put in place before, then what that means is you were designed for something. The good works were designed even before you came to be, so to speak. I'm not taking you to church, but I am speaking truth to you. And so all of these things that you're walking through, there are exploits, extraordinary things that you're designed for. It's not extraordinary because I call it that. It's just extraordinary in that you were designed exactly for that thing. And you can do that from a place of rest. You don't always have to do things from exhaustion. And so when you come out of exhaustion, the good news is you'll be able to make more certain decisions. You'll be able to be more intentional with what you're doing. You come out of that limbo living, you come out of procrastination, you begin to just move forward. You begin to move your needle forward just like that. Your responses are more deliberate, they're more certain. You take action. You take action even when your back isn't against the wall. You take action. And lo and behold, you look over your shoulder. And when you look over your shoulder, you see, oh my gosh, progress has been made. Not because you're comparing yourself to someone else, not because you're trying to prove something to someone else. You're just improving and taking action. And once that happens, then there's an excitement that happens. You're like, okay, okay, I see this thing. I see this thing coming to fruition. I see these things coming to pass. Wait a minute. The book is written. Another book is written. What? I got a promotion. What? Like you begin to see growth and movement and progress in the way that you want to see it. And I truly believe each of us has that ability. And that's why we do things like the reset. That's why we have think on purpose, not about purpose and destiny, but about being deliberate and intentional in your thought life. And sometimes even when we're in this state of exhaustion, to try to encourage ourselves, let me tell you how this can be a trick, guys. To try to encourage ourselves, we'll say, well, you know what? I don't want to be ungrateful. At least I have this. At least I have a job. At least, at least, at least. And I understand the intention is good there. The intention is good. But if my intention is to play a trick on you and swing like it's a joke, but I actually slap you, regardless of my intention, it hurt. It assaulted you. And so even though the intention is good, well, at least this, at least that, we gravitate toward what we focus on. So if we're focusing on the at least, then we're going to gravitate toward least. And that's not abundant. That's not abundant at all. And so then that's what I'm saying. It's okay to find that excitement and rest. Stay with me, guys. I don't want you gravitating toward least. I want you to gravitate toward that excitement that is in rest. I want you to know it is okay for you to want to excel, for you to want to be great, for you to want to do mighty or big things, not by somebody else's definition, but as you continue to just do level up, level up, level up, level up based on you and your journey. And then you get into exploits. And exploits is where you make full use and get the full benefits from who you are, who you were designed to be, who you were created to be. The relationships around you get the best of you. The businesses that you interact with get the best of you. Things get the best of you because you are at your best. You're no longer coming from a state of exhaustion. That's what the reset helps people do. Come out of the state of exhaustion and get into that excitement and exploit state. Get into seeing movement in the areas you desire to see movement in. It's a 30-day kickstart to get the quality of life that you desire. Not what someone else is saying about you, not what you're trying to compare yourself, not even what you're trying to make yourself present off as something that someone wants. But no, I'm talking about you from the inside out. From the inside out, it hits the quality of life that you desire, that you truly desire. And so then all of a sudden you're doing what other people consider bold and daring feats, exploits, y'all. And to you, it's just like, man, it was an opportunity. It came, and I'm so excited that I got to do it because you were moving your needle forward anyway. And so I want you to see yourself and I want you to live out what you want to see in your life, what you truly desire. I want you to be certain, be deliberate, be intentional, be the better you and the best you for this season. Always about being a better you, but the best you for this season. Well, Sharon, how do you do that? You do it by being fully present, being content with what you have, yet still working forward towards more. Listen, you can do it. That's what UCDI stands for. You can do it. The question is, will you? Will you do it? Will you do it? Will you do it in this season? Or will you say, well, at least I have this? Or will you begin to rehearse some excuses that you probably have been rehearsing for years? I do you no good. I do you a disservice if I don't tell you the truth of the matter. If you're still saying the same excuses this year that you were saying 10 years ago, then it's time for us to just woosah, breathe, and say, either I do or I don't want it. Either I will or I won't. You can. You can. This is not a question of can you do something. This is a question of will you. And so that's what the reset really helps us do. We look at what's working, what's not working, what areas we want to see movement in, what areas we really don't care about seeing movement in. Even if the world says you should see movement there, if you really don't care about it, then don't care about it. Focus on the areas that you want to see be fruitful, you want to see production in, you want to see thrive. You were never called to just exist. You are here to thrive. And when you thrive, those around you are able to thrive. Those around them are able to thrive. Those around them are able to thrive. Your ripple begins to, your ripple goes out further and further and further, and your ripple benefits everyone that encounters your ripple. It does. It does. And you say, well, most people don't say that. Well, most people are Could be wrong. That's all I have to say on that. Most people could be wrong. Most people are the 85%, and that 85% rarely makes choices. It is time for us to be intentional. Be intentional and be deliberate in your thought life. Be intentional and be deliberate in your actions. Set aside time. Always have that time so that you can move your needle forward in the areas you want to move it forward from. Please don't be content with living in a state of exhaustion because everyone else does. If you're going home and you're like, I'm so exhausted, and you're still just as exhausted when you wake up, and you're just as exhausted throughout your day, and everything is just exhaustion, please hard stop, refocus, 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 and then reset. That's what the reset does. I hope you guys will join us for the reset. It's time to get this reset in order, and it is about the quality of life that you desire. So I would just encourage you. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm talking, you may be listening. You may have already moved on. I didn't do this for fanfare. But if I'm talking and you like, there are things I do want to do, I am always tired. I don't know, and you're whiffling and waffling, then more than likely this is for you. This is for you. I want to let you know you are worth 30 days. You are worth 30 days to refocus, to drill down, to identify the areas you want to see movement in and cut off things that you don't want to see movement in. Yeah, in order for you to focus on the things you want to focus on, some stuff's going to have to get cut off. It's not doing you any good to be there. It's not doing you any good to be there. And then you'll begin to rest for real. And there is excitement in rest. There is movement in rest. There is movement in rest. And for those of you who are faith based as it relates to the Bible, please check out Psalms 139:14. Check out Corinthians. Check out Hebrews, where it talks about the rest. There is a rest that we can operate out of. Well, we give our best. We give 150. We lay it all down. We leave it all on the court. We do all of that. But at the same time, it's coming from a place of rest, not a place of desperation. You are loved, you are accepted, you are a part of what we call the beloved. If you are in that body of faith, you're that. Whether you feel like it or not, you're that. You don't have to scrounge for everything. That's an orphan mentality. That's an orphan mentality. Come out of the orphan mentality. A lot of times in marginalized communities or poverty communities, we were raised with that orphan mentality. It's like, we got to scrounge, we got to get it, we always got to grind. If you're always grinding, you'll never experience the benefit of that you're grinding for. You have to also be able to rest. And so I just am inviting you and encouraging you to join us on the reset. Join us on the reset so that you can experience and have tools that will post date. They will outlive this 30 days that we spend together. These tools will help you. The reset is not designed for you to be beholden to me or dependent upon what we do. It is designed to give you the tools that work whenever you decide to work them. God bless. Nothing but love for you all. Whatever field you work in, wherever you are, if you want to reset, it's time to reset. Come visit us. Where are we? Come visit us at pushapp.sharoncombs.com. Also, you can go to the website, sharoncombs.com, or you can go to ucdileadership.com. But that reset is life changing. It's guaranteed and it's life changing. If it doesn't work for you, your money comes back. But it's not even priced to be reset prohibitive. It's priced so that you can get in, you can see the change you desire, and then you're going to help other people and identify and experience the change that they desire as well. I believe I'm done. It's been about 10 minutes. You guys have a great day. Nothing but love for you. Nothing but the best for you. Oh, actually, it's been about 20 minutes. Nothing but love for you. Nothing but the best for you. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy this video. Be kind to somebody. Be nice to somebody, not for wealth or fame, but because it is an amazing thing to do. And why not? All right. Talk to you guys later.